Hey guys, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Christine.
And this is This Week in Vegas.
The Ninth Island Connection podcast, where we tell you everything that's happening this week in Vegas.
Pretty simple, straightforward, right?
Yeah. News, weather, events, all that good stuff. So let's get to it.
I want to start with, I guess, a new tradition that we've started, giving some shout outs. We love hearing where you guys are watching from. We appreciate your support. So I wanted to say just a quick thank you to some of you guys there. If I missed anybody, I am so sorry. Arnold, thank you so much for supporting our channel over in Hawaii. Also for purchasing some of our merchandise. We appreciate you so much. And I hope that when you bring that fanny pack to Vegas that you leave full of chips. Well, don't leave the casino. You want to cash them out before you go back home.
Duh. Arnold's a pro. I think he knows that.
And then Gary, of course, thank you from watching from Honolulu. Heidi and Ron in Lahaina. You guys reach out to us a lot on Instagram also.
Lots of people, lots of support in Hawaii. Thank you guys.
Love it, love it. Ashley watching from New Mexico, thank you so much. Our Piazza from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I actually lived in Milwaukee. Fun fact, I have my master's from UW Milwaukee. But I don't know why I had to feel like I had to share that.
All right. It's supposed to be This Week in Vegas.
Anyway, not
This Week in Milwaukee.
Not decades ago.
Sophie watching from Indiana, thank you so much. And that's somewhere I've never been to Indiana.
No.
Sophie and Kevin.
We drove through Indiana before.
But we haven't been to Indiana. No. And Kevin, thank you guys all so much. And if this is your first time on our channel, please go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate the support.
Yes.
And it really helps us out. So thank you so much.
Yes. And thank you again for sharing where you guys were watching from. We love hearing that. Feel free to drop that in the comments again and let us know where you guys are watching this podcast from. All right, let's get to the news. And I guess it's kind of not really new news anymore. It seems like we're talking about this quite often, unfortunately.
Yeah, just more of the same. And that has to do with travel here to Vegas, down for the 4th month in a row. And that's it. I mean, that's all it is. And we're not going to get into politics here. We're just reporting the news, no speculation. Numbers are down. And that's across the board. So down 5.1% overall in comparison to 2024. Some of that we can capture from the airport, which is seeing 3.6% decline in travel. That's just month to month, year over year, just flights coming in.
Domestic and international.
Yes, domestic and international. So, and it's everywhere. It's the Strip, it's downtown, where downtown actually experienced a bigger drop in tourism, down 2.6% against last year, April. So occupancy is down. It's not dead, right? So
it's only down 1%, but it's still down. And typically the trend has been since COVID, up.
Year over year, month over month, everything has been up. So, I mean, that's what it is right there. And we're not trying to clickbait. Vegas is not dead. There's plenty of people still here enjoying Vegas. So don't fall into the clickbait of Vegas is dead. Is tourism down? Absolutely. The numbers are down and the data doesn't lie, right? It is what it is.
But summers are typically slower, the slower season as well. So there's not as much happening with like sports and all of that stuff that brings people in. So
I was really surprised about April being down though, because WrestleMania was here for like a week.
That's true.
In the month of April. That was a massive event.
So I wonder how things would have been.
Weird.
I wonder how things would have been without WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's just kind of bizarre. So we'll see what happens in the month of May.
But on a positive note, conventions are doing
well. Conventions are doing great.
Yeah, convention traffic was up 14%. So that's great. I mean, at least this is still a destination for convention goers.
Yeah. And one thing that we're noticing, a lot better offers than usual.
Yes, that actually is the positive in all of this, I guess, decline in tourism.
Yeah.
You know, we reap the benefits.
Yeah, we're getting free play offers. We've always gotten free nights, so that's nothing new. But we rarely get like free play, resort credits, And that's because we're local and our status, we don't pay for parking, we don't pay resort fees and all that stuff already.
Yeah.
And so to get free play offers and resort credit, dining credits, and all that stuff in addition to what we already get is huge, because we typically don't see that.
Yeah, yes. And I think better room offers.
Better
I've
room
noticed
offers.
that, and more availability across all the properties.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it's just like only the link is available.
Yeah.
So, that's something we're going to definitely be taking advantage of.
Absolutely.
And it's because we care about Vegas, and we want to pour that money back into Vegas.
Yes.
And help us get out of this.
We have a satchel that we're going to bring with us and just dump in the casino.
Yes, doing our part to give back to Vegas, which is how it always seems. But anyways, we'll just continue to monitor this. Hopefully next podcast, or in a few podcasts from now, we'll be able to report that we're on the up and up, but that's as things stand as of today.
And you know what? We want to hear from you guys. Have you guys canceled your normal vacation in Vegas, whether it's once a year, twice a year, however often you come? Have you canceled? Let us know in the comments. And if you could provide a reason, again, we don't want to dive into politics and get crazy in the comment section, but just let us know your reasoning if you have canceled your trip to Vegas this year.
Yep. Kind of on the same trend, we talked a few weeks ago about MGM laying off several employees, and now Fontainebleau is following suit. They laid off an undisclosed amount. They didn't say how many table dealers were let go from the property, but they are downsizing their staff as well. So it sounds like things are kind of slowing down at Fontainebleau, which
it was already struggling too.
Yeah, I mean, they had the AMAs there just recently and stuff. And they do have, events and everything there, but it's kind of turning into like a resorts world where it's more of a destination rather than where people are staying there.
Yeah, I feel like, they're beautiful properties, and it's really a shame. Resorts World Las Vegas is a beautiful property. Fontainebleau is gorgeous. But people just don't go there to gamble.
Yeah.
They're at the end of the strip over there, so not really walkable. And you see the world famous Las Vegas Strip. People want to be able to get out of the casino, walk right next door to Harrah's or the Best Western, Casino Royale there.
Nobody's coming to Vegas to go to Casino Royale.
People love Casino Royale. It's like a cult fan favorite
I
thing.
know, but you don't travel to Vegas for Casino Royale.
People do.
I don't know about that.
People do. I'm telling you.
Maybe I'm wrong.
People are loyal to Casino Royale.
I'm sure there's a huge following. I like Casino Royale, but I'm just saying I don't think that that's what brings people to Vegas.
I think people come for Casino Royale.
I mean,
they have like a hot dog special.
Are you telling people like, oh, when you come to Vegas, you must see the Bellagio fountains, the conservatory, and Casino Royale?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
And get some murder burgers over at White Castle while you're at it.
Yes. Well,
it's because we vacation different.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, with Resorts World, kind of on that topic, I wonder if that's, they are kind of that destination for entertainment. And recently, Janet Jackson's announced that they're struggling to sell tickets.
But I don't know, that might be a Janet Jackson thing though.
I don't know. That's, I was a little surprised because I would feel like she would be somebody who would kind of sell tickets.
I don't know.
But she's struggling. And if you're a Janet Jackson fan, I think I saw tickets as low as $50.
About $50.
Yeah.
Selling tickets.
That's crazy.
That's desperate.
That's like a regular Vegas show.
Yeah. That's whoever's promoting that event is probably not doing well.
No. Yeah. So that's, I don't know, all over the place here in Vegas with those kind of things.
But then on the positive, if you want to go see Janet Jackson, you can grab tickets for $50.
Yeah, I might go.
That's a great deal if that's it, if that's your thing. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Moving on. This is kind of for everybody, but I think more of our Hawaii audience would be excited for this. Vacations Hawaii. Who partners with Boyd Downtown Properties. They've announced that they are having packages for the UNLV-UH battle that doesn't happen until November. That is the Island Showdown. If you're not familiar with the Island Showdown, it's kind of a rivalry between Las Vegas, UNLV, the 9th Island, and Hawaii. So It's a big event, takes place every other year here in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. We actually had the pleasure of attending the first one after COVID. Yeah, and that was the first. That was the first travel opportunity for a lot of people from Hawaii, where they felt comfortable coming to Vegas. But so much fun. We had a great time at that. We were actually filming for the show, so we had like sideline access, which was really cool, and a box suite, which was very cool.
Which was catered, also, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was. I wish we got to spend more time in that and less time filming, but you know, duty calls.
Yeah.
But those packages are available through Vacations Hawaii. Again, that's not until November 22nd.
But they know they're going to sell that out. So that always does really well every year. So we've talked about travel being down in previous podcasts. And
this one.
And this one earlier on the podcast.
If you were paying attention, you'd know that.
And some of the things some of the ways that some of the properties have been reacting is with deals. It started with Circa. They've got like a 2-night thing with $100 dining credit, $100 beverage, a free day bed at Stadium Swim. All in $400. That's fees, taxes, everything. Plaza has a deal.
I think it's like $125. I don't remember all the details on that one, but you guys can check out there.
It's a sweet deal.
Yeah.
It's a sweet deal. And so the Strat is jumping on board. And theirs is like the lowest price.
Yes.
And this isn't about bashing the Strat. We think the Strat is great. We've spent some time over there. We ate there. It's the location less than ideal if you're a center strip person, but this is a great deal. And I think this is going to attract some new people to at least give it a shot. $49 for the room. And that's all in. That's fees, that's taxes. And they're also going to give you a $25 daily food credit and free tower admission. So you pay $50 per night. So you're getting 50% of that back in food and beverage credit, $25. So that's $25 a night with resort fees and taxes all in down there at the Strat. That's a great deal.
Yeah, and I know you said it's not the ideal location for those who want to be like center strip, but it is walkable to the Arts District.
Oh yeah.
So it puts you like right in like a really fun area. So if the Arts District is something that was on your list, staying at the Strat would actually be a good location because you could just walk like, what is it, like a block maybe? A couple blocks.
To 18 Bend.
Yeah, down to like, well, Abel Baker would be the closest.
Abel Baker right there. Yeah.
But I mean, we are getting into the hot season, so it may not be ideal to walk, but.
You know what? If I'd never stayed at the Strat and I'm coming here on vacation and I'm a typical center strip person or even like Mandalay Bay all the way on the other side, I would do this for at least a night.
Well, they actually have a lot happening there. They have a lot of shows happening at the Strat. They have the thrill rides, of course,
right,
up in the observation area, which is really cool.
Yep.
They have some great dining. They have the restaurant that's at the top of the Strat. They have different restaurants within. And then right next door is Atomic Golf. And Atomic Golf is a lot of fun. I mean, like that's an entertainment venue in itself. They have, you can do putting, you can do golf, like driving, like typical like Top Golf style. They actually have the cannons where you can fire off golf balls.
The food is amazing.
They have great food, great like nightlife. So, I mean, really, you're kind of, by paying $49 for the Strat, you're accessing
rebate essentially.
Yeah, but you have access to all the stuff that you maybe wouldn't experience if
I
you
would do it for one night
on the other end of the Strip, like the southern end or the center Strip. So, I mean, and again, we're not getting paid to promote the Strat.
Nobody pays us for anything on our social media. Anything.
Yeah, but
if you want to, just reach out.
Feel free. You're welcome, Strat. But I mean, just another great deal if you're looking for more affordable ways of coming to Vegas. There are actually a lot of the properties are offering those. Speaking
of the Arts District, if you guys been to Cosmopolitan, Holstein's had been there for a really long time.
Like 15 years.
Pretty much opened up.
Yeah, they were like there for 15 years.
And then they just did their thing and they got out of there. They're open in the Arts District. They've reopened. And I'm kind of on the fence with how I feel about this right here. Holstein's is an amazing restaurant. We've eaten there. Just us, we've eaten with friends. We've done their happy hour over there at Cosmopolitan. But I really hope that it doesn't change the dynamic of the arts district.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there are a lot of great restaurants down there, so a lot of competition, and a lot of people are loyal to those places down there.
Because it's a neighborhood.
But having Holstein's that was very popular at the Cosmopolitan might draw strip people who typically just stayed at the strip, might be like, oh my gosh, I was so upset that Holstein's was gone. Now they might be like, oh, I can go down there and check out the arts district. So, you know, it could be a win-win.
It's a lose for me though.
Why?
I like it. Keep it small.
Keep it small?
I just don't want the arts district to turn into Las Vegas Boulevard with all of the tons of foot traffic and all of the big crowds. I love that it's a neighborhood feel.
Well, then maybe we should stop talking about it during our podcast.
Let's get out of here. No more arts district.
Forget what we said. Speaking of the Cosmopolitan, this story just kind of makes me laugh a little bit. Not because of this happened, but because we experienced something similar.
We did.
So recently, 2 people were rescued in an elevator after being stuck in an elevator for like 2 hours at Harrah's, which would be terrible. If they were the only 2 people in the elevator, probably not as terrible as, you know, how packed the elevators get during like checkout time, and you're like in the very back and people keep loading in and you're like, please don't let this elevator break down because I will lose it. But that happened. We actually, when we were at the Cosmopolitan once, my niece and her husband were visiting, and we thought, oh my gosh, the best way to see the beautiful chandelier is through the elevator. So we took that beautiful like glass elevator, the 4 of us, and we were stuck in it. But like it didn't move.
Not 2 hours though.
Yes, no.
It wasn't 2 hours.
It kind of felt like 2 hours, but it was probably like 10 minutes. But we were stuck there like we were in a fishbowl. It was so ridiculous.
It's not glass, but it is see-through. I mean, you can see right into the elevator, which was, I thought it was funny because there were people walking by going, are you guys stuck? Are you guys okay in there? We're like, we're stuck. We need help.
We had to call, and then finally it just opened and we got out. And
I had to call on my cell phone, like Google Cosmopolitan phone number, call them. Like, how can we help you? I was like, I'm stuck in your elevator in the casino.
It was ridiculous. I think it traumatized my niece a little bit.
They haven't been back to Vegas since. They have not returned to Vegas.
Well, now we always take the escalator.
Yes.
Which is also a beautiful view of the chandelier. So, but that can happen. As escalators break down here, elevators break down here.
Escalators, like half of them are broken at all times.
Yeah, but at least you can see it in advance. Yes. It's not like while you're in it. Yeah. So, but well, hopefully those people got some comps for their troubles.
Yeah.
And hopefully it wasn't like checkout time where they were trying to catch a flight.
What if they got like a late fee for checking out in their room late?
Or missed a flight because of that.
Yeah,
that would be
really stink.
Ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Anyways, moving on with some concert announcements. We got Zach Brown. He's in the talks with the Sphere to be the next country residency happening over there at the Sphere. Kenny Chesney's happening now,
and he
was
amazing.
The first. Yeah, so
it
now
looked absolutely amazing. I mean, the Sphere was packed.
Yeah, so clearly, you know, country is a popular genre and working out well for the Sphere. And Zach Brown is like, all right, I'm going to be joining that too by the end of this year.
Country music is the #1 genre across the country. A lot of people may not. I used to work for a radio station, and I know that. It is true.
Good to know. But I wonder if they'll time it because if you're not familiar, we do have cowboy country.
This is cowboy country here in Vegas.
Well,
once you leave the Strip, it's a whole different world out here.
Well, down on the Strip, and downtown is cowboy country. Come November and December with the Las Vegas Days Rodeo and the National Finals Rodeo happening. And country music is everywhere then. So I wonder if Zach Brown will time it during that time frame because that would just make sense. His
people are already here.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of exciting. And then we also have another concert announcement.
So Sublime is coming to town. I love Sublime. They're one of my all-time favorites. That's like my go-to for karaoke too. If you ever run into me at a karaoke bar, that's my go-to and has been for years. And it sounds fantastic.
It doesn't.
It sounds fantastic. It's like spot on. Well, they're going to be in Vegas. And I love the play on the popular movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's Fear, Loathing, and Sublime. The tour dates here in Vegas are going to be in town August 14th through the 17th. I'm surprised that they're going to be at Dolby Live, though. I feel like that's a small venue for them.
Yeah, but how cool, because it's such a
small. For them, it seems like a smaller venue for them.
I think it's a perfect venue. We've talked about Dolby Live a lot, and it's probably my favorite venue to go to.
I love it. I have nothing to say negatively about the venue. I feel like Sublime is like big, like a T-Mobile Arena caliber band, no?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Bruno Mars performs there, Lady Gaga performs there. Maybe this is the works of a residency.
Yeah, we'll see. I like it though. I'm super stoked about this one right here.
Yeah, it's near my birthday. That might be a good.
So we can get it for your birthday together.
Yeah, or maybe you can get me tickets and then I'll decide who I'm taking.
I get you one ticket. Go by yourself then, whatever.
All right, let's move into some jackpots.
People are still coming. Not as many people, but people are still coming. They're still gambling and they're still winning. We have a lot of jackpots and one that's like massive.
There's a lot and they're all slots.
Yes.
We went through like a phase of table games.
Everybody winning on table games.
Table games, especially Paigao, and now...
Maybe that's why those people at Fontainebleau got fired.
I hope that's not
too many people are winning on table games.
Well, none of the jackpots that we talked about were there. So.
That's true. That's true. I'm here on your side, Fontainebleau. I'm trying to find out the reasons.
Well, the slots are hot, so let's hear about it.
Let's start with M Resort. This is a local favorite, just south of the street. It's like just go straight south on the highway. You're going to run it right into M Resort. Somebody was betting $2.50 and they won $17,000.
Nice.
That's not a bad investment.
Nice. And then also slightly off the strip, but kind of considered the strip, over at the Palms, somebody won $22,000 on a $1.76 bet.
I love it.
On Dancing Drums, one of my favorite games.
That is your favorite.
Yeah, I love Dancing Drums. I have a lot of favorite games. I got to stay out of the casinos. I'm getting too many favorite games. And not because they pay me, because they entertain me.
Yes. And that's what it is. It's entertainment, right?
Yes.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. So. I know that when my $20 goes in, it's bye-bye.
You have a good time. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Moving downtown, there's been a few.
We have to talk about the Fremont. And that is a Boyd property right there on Fremont Street Experience. A lot of fun. They actually recently renovated the entire property. The entire casino, the food hall,
the rooms.
All of the rooms have been redone. And they did an amazing job over there. Wheel of Fortune, somebody was betting the gold spin. And that's like the minimum to win maximum bonus. There's two. There's like gold spin and then seven coins, like all in. Right, that's the trigger.
Well, I think there's a minimum gold spin and then a maximum.
There's spin. Two. There's like 5 or 7 to be in that window there. Somebody was betting gold spin, Wheel of Fortune, and they won $417,000 on that Wheel of Fortune machine. Absolutely love it.
That's crazy, and that's gonna just kill our friend Shannon, who loves that. That's his game. Like if we're in the Fremont and we're looking for him, we know where to find him.
On that machine.
Yeah. So he'll
chasing that bonus.
Yeah. So sorry it wasn't you this time, Shan. Maybe next time. Also downtown, a couple over at the Four Queens won $10,000 on Dragon Link, another one of the games I enjoy playing, but I've never won $10,000.
There's like a little bit of hostility with you talking about these
I know. I always say I'm happy when people win, but I feel like I'm a little bitter. Why can't it be me?
Exactly. Like they're winning your jackpots. Like you're one of those people that you get up, somebody wins, and you're like, "That's my bonus. That's my jackpot."
Well, yeah.
She really does that.
I do not do that at all.
She does that. She even walks over and she tells them, "That's my jackpot."
I would never do that. That's ridiculous. Stop starting rumors.
People do that though.
People do that, and I think it's
silly.
People
get salty. We've seen people get salty.
I know, and that's my thing. Here's my PSA this week. If you're an angry gambler when you don't win, just don't gamble.
Or if you see us, go the other way.
Yeah.
Gamble away from us.
I just, people who verbally are irritated or physically irritated, swearing at the machines, hitting the machines. I mean, come on now. That's just silly and childish.
So down at Binion's, and I have seen this on social media. I've never seen this happen in person. If you guys have, please let us know. I have seen it on social media though, so I know that it happens. because if it's on social media, it must be true,
It's
right?
real. Yeah.
It must be true.
Yeah.
But somebody was down at Binion's. They won a $10,000 jackpot playing Quick Spin Platinum Supercharged Sevens. That's a long one. They were waiting.
5 times fast.
They were waiting for their hand pay, waiting for the hand pay of the $10,000. Played another machine, and after 2 spins of $7.50 each, won another $10,000 jackpot.
Nice.
That is nuts. That's
Nice.
awesome. Congratulations on that one.
Nice. That's amazing. I mean, what luck.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen that happen.
It's
I know that
happened.
it's happened at the Cal before.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it at Fremont. I've seen it downtown
Yeah.
a lot. I haven't really seen that happen on the Strip.
So when you're waiting for a jackpot, go win another jackpot. Because I mean, you
Yes.
already got that
Gamble
money.
as you're waiting.
Yes, because it seems to work for some people. Moving on to the Strip, Treasure Island had 2 different jackpots recently, both almost $19,000. So those are nice jackpots.
Absolutely.
One was on one of your favorites, Huff and Puff,
My nemesis. I always see people winning on the Huff and Puff.
but you only
I
lose on
always
that
see
game.
people on free spin bonuses, winning, and I've never won anything. I've lost every penny that I have put into Huff and Puff.
Yes.
And now they have like 5, 6 different versions of Huff and Puff. There's super, there's like a doubling up with bonus hats spinning
The
around. There's all
mansion
kinds
one,
of
yeah.
mansions. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
And I've never won
on any of them.
anything. Like if I put 20 bucks in, 40 bucks, 60 bucks, 80 bucks, it's gone. And I've been trying for years
So maybe that's a sign. Move
to
along.
keep trying because
No, it's a sign to move along.
statistically I should win at some point, no?
I would try something different. It's not your game. Not your game. It's
Everybody
okay.
else's game except for me.
Yes, it's everyone else's except for you.
Whatever.
Also, someone won on Locket Link, which we've never played Locket
Never.
Link, but I know it's a
No.
popular game. So that's cool.
Mhm.
We don't talk a lot about Treasure Island.
No.
We don't spend a lot of time there, even though it is kind of center strip. And I think it's probably quieter now that Mirage is no longer, because they
Yeah.
were connected and
Yeah.
kind of the traffic between the two.
Yeah.
But they
good
do
point.
have, the last time we were there, we were very impressed. They have a great first time rewards program. So if
Yep.
you've never got a card at Treasure Island and you're coming to Vegas, it is worth going into their,
Just for the signing up for the reward program.
yeah, they give you, I mean, you get free play.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of free play.
Yeah.
It was great. So I've never had that through MGM or through Caesars or the Wynn or the Cosmopolitan.
Yep.
Or even places downtown. So I was impressed with the amount of free play I got just for signing up. So,
Yeah, and we actually had a lot of fun while we were there.
yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
It's just we don't spend a lot of time there. So that's a lot of jackpots, but we're not done yet.
There's more.
And way more.
Yeah, so let's start at Red Rock. Anonymous player playing high limit won $1 million jackpot. And that was Station Casino's first $1 million jackpot winner of the year.
Wow.
Was over at Red Rock.
Well, and Stations casinos have been having a lot of big winners lately, but not that big.
A lot of people win a lot. This is just the first time somebody's won $1 million jackpot
Yeah.
this year. So
Nice.
that's awesome. Congratulations to that anonymous person out there.
Yeah. It'd be nice to win $1 million, right?
That's
And
it.
that's not the only person who won
Well,
$1 million.
Somebody, and I always say this, I haven't said it a lot lately though, save a couple bucks for the airport. People do win at the airport. Take 20 bucks, stick it in your sock, your shoe, your luggage that you're not going to open again until you're leaving. Put it somewhere and try your luck at the airport because people do win. Somebody was just over there on Friday and was playing Wheel of Fortune, betting $5 a spin, and they won a $1.8 million jackpot at the D gates. Was it a Hawaii resident? I'm not sure, but Hawaiian Airlines is at the D gates. The person is anonymous, of course,
Yeah.
but they won $1.8 million at the airport. Of course, they didn't say whether they were arriving or leaving. I know majority of people don't gamble at the airport when they get here. I have done it just because I want to be this $1.8 million winner, so I'll try anything, right? But not as many people do gamble when they're coming into Vegas. That's on the way out. Save 20 bucks for the airport. That could be you.
So lots of winners. So that's good
Yeah.
news. Some good news with all the people who are coming to Vegas.
Yep.
Maybe it just increases your chance to win. All right, moving on to weather. This is what you can expect this week in Vegas when it comes to weather. We're looking at mid 80s all the way up to low 100s. So, and everything in between, because that's kind of what June is. We still get to cool off a little bit at night. Sometimes not only in just the 80s, but 70s, sometimes even dipping into the 60s. So it's actually
High 60s,
really,
though.
high
Really
60s.
comfortable.
But it's comfortable. So if you don't like the heat, especially like those 100-degree days, know that once the sun sets, relief is coming.
A little bit of relief.
Okay.
But still have a jacket, though, because they crank up the AC in the casinos.
Yeah, I would say year round. I was bringing a light
Always just
jacket or
have
a
a
light
jacket,
sweater.
something
Carry it
to
with
throw
you.
on.
Yeah, because it gets chilly in the restaurant. Like the air, it just
The AC, well, you're going from like 115 to 72.
yeah. And
That's
feels
like,
cold.
it just feels like you're in an icebox.
It shocks your body for sure.
All right, guys, let's talk about some of the events. Now, this is in addition to everybody else that's always here. All your Cirque shows, your Carrot Tops, your Purple Rains, all those guys are always here. This is just
And
some
they're
of the,
great.
yeah, absolutely. They're small businesses. This is just in addition to those guys. And let's start with Rod Stewart doing his thing over at Caesars Coliseum. That's going to be on the 5th, the 7th, and 8th.
And Bruno Mars is going to be over at Dolby Live at Park MGM on the 2nd. And heads up, he locks up phones. So
Yes.
you can bring your cell phone, but you're not going to get any photos or videos. So
No.
just be in the moment and enjoy Bruno.
Yes. And we were talking about Kenny Chesney over at the Sphere. He's killing it, and he's still going to be here. He's going to be there the 4th, the 6th, and 7th.
All right, bringing it back old school, but Lisa and Cult Jam is going to have their 40th anniversary over at the Orleans, and that's going to be on the 6th.
Moving right along, Coldplay at Allegiant Stadium on the 6th and 7th.
And I don't even know how to say this one, so I'm just going to LSZ. It's going to be LS Dream and Close Z tour. They're going to be at Virgin Hotels on the 6th and the 7th. So 2 nights. So
Have to be well known, yeah?
yeah, it's just us.
It's just us.
It's just us.
Not our thing.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Maybe it is our thing. You just never heard of them.
Yeah,
It could be our thing.
but well, you know who they are. They're going to be here. And Virgin's a great place.
It is a great property.
Yeah, they have a nice property. Worth taking the trip from the Strip and checking it out. Lots of great restaurants and entertainment and stuff over there.
Yeah, it is worth it. Let's see, we've got Maxi Priest over at the Westgate on the 7th.
And Buju Banton over at Planet Hollywood on the 7th as well.
Cheryl Crow at Cosmopolitan on the 7th. And I haven't really heard from anything about Cheryl Crow in a really long time.
Cheryl Crow has been on The Voice, I think.
I feel
recently.
like
The Voice for American Idol.
I've seen
She's
her
been-
everywhere now.
Yeah, she's been on that, so maybe promoting her tour. But yeah, she's been on one of the singing shows
And-
recently as like a coach.
Well, I just remember seeing her and being like, she looks exactly the same as she did way back when she was at the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Interesting. But she's doing her thing. She's going to be here at Cosmopolitan on the 7th.
And Tyler
You have all the great names today.
I do. I'm like, this one's not even hard. It's me.
I've been saying that for years.
My talking's not so good today.
The words won't come out.
Yes. Tyler Childers is going to be at MGM Grand on the 7th.
Now we're heading down to Fremont Street. One of the things that everybody that loves Fremont Street, not everybody does. That's a whole separate thing. But people love the free entertainment. There's 3 stages. There's free music going on all day long. People out there dancing. And they actually have great acts that come to town. Speaking of, Buck Cherry is going to be there doing a free concert on the 7th.
And that's going to be on the first stage.
On the first, well, that's where you're going to see the biggest crowd.
Yeah.
That's the first street stage.
And it's free. And so they have, if you're not familiar, Fremont Street, the Fremont Street Experience does do their free concert series throughout the summer months. And you can check out their website for more information for the schedule lineup.
They have big acts that actually come through, and it's 100% free.
It's free. And we haven't been to one in a while, but one thing I didn't care for was that you have to wait to get in.
Yep.
And then you have to exit if you want to go get something to drink, or you have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
So that was one kind of downfall.
Well, because there's so many people, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to manage the chaos.
Yeah.
And that's why I was mentioning Fremont Street Experience and events like this is not for everybody.
Yeah.
We have friends that really don't like big crowds like this. When I say big crowds, you're like shoulder to shoulder, big crowds.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either,
Yeah.
which is why we don't go to these things anymore, these big events. But we love Fremont Street, and we have been down there for shows and stuff. But when it comes to
Just
the big
bands,
acts,
the bands that they have just in general down there
are great,
fantastic.
are fantastic.
Yeah.
But bigger ones like this, that's not our thing. But if that's for you, that's what's going on the 7th.
Yep. And then Stephen Marley is going to be at Brooklyn Bowl on the 8th. Brooklyn Bowl is located in the Link Promenade, if you're not familiar. It's a fun little venue. It's a very intimate venue. Mm-hmm. It's a standing only venue. Yeah. At least everything that we've seen there
has been standing.
We've never experienced having to wait a long time to get in, but we've been hanging out in the Link Promenade before and have seen endless lines.
Crazy
like they go from Brooklyn Bowl, which is past the fountain, almost towards like the entry where you go onto the high roller, all the way back towards like Flamingo. So if you're planning on attending an event, just be a heads up that you may have to wait in line. It's mm-hmm. going to be hot in that line.
Yes.
It's going to be probably uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you're dressed appropriately for the Vegas temperatures, even though you're going to be maybe dancing inside later. And grab a drink. Yeah. Because you're going to be
grab a couple while you're waiting in line.
Yeah, whether it's water, which would be, the sensible thing to do, or the alcoholic beverage, which would probably be what we would do. But
it's made with
going to
water.
Be a line. Okay.
And then we have a couple of comedians coming to town. We've got Carlos Mencia over at Harrah's on the 2nd and the 8th. We've got DL Hughley over at the Palms on the 7th.
All right, so that's what's happening this week in Vegas, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's podcast. And again, let us know where you're watching from. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. All we do is bring you things about Vegas. If you're interested in Vegas, we are the channel for you. And if you've already subscribed, again, thank you very much for the support. We really appreciate it.
And if you're looking for even more Vegas, check out the description below so that you can see how you can watch our television show wherever you are. We have a television show that airs throughout the country on cable, broadcast television, streaming. So just check out the description so that you can check that out there. And yes, we are on social media. We're Instagramming, we're TikToking, we're everywhere. We're Ninth Island Connection.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Ninth Island Connection highlights Las Vegas businesses, entertainment, events, and activities on and off the Strip, keeping our viewers connected with the Ninth Island of Las Vegas. From local mom-and-pop restaurants to those owned and operated by top chefs, from kitchen action to the inspiration behind the dishes, we deliver the culinary creations of Vegas. From Las Vegas entertainers and athletes to all of the exciting activities and experiences around the Vegas Valley, we keep our viewers connected with all of the excitement that the entertainment capital of the world has to offer. Of course, we can't forget about the casinos that make Vegas, Vegas, with exclusive tours of the incredible amenities and beautiful accommodations, getting right in the heart of the casino floor action and entertainment, as well as interviews with casino owners, CEOs, GMs, and executive chefs. We bring the Las Vegas Casino into our viewers' homes. Highlighting lesser-known areas like the Fremont East District, the Arts District, and Brewery Row, we bring attention to these small businesses that have become fast favorites in the local community. We bring our viewers a complete Vegas experience. We also invite our viewers along as we venture into the great outdoors of the Las Vegas Valley, sharing short road trips, hikes, and the unique sights found in the Mojave Desert. Great people, Great stories, great connections, only on Ninth Island Connection.